5 championship. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bob Varsha, along with ESPN road racing analyst David Hobbs. Welcome to Lime Rock. Skip Barber invented the Barber Dodge Series more than a decade ago to test driver setup skills as well as car control in identically prepared machines. But with the weather conditions we've had this weekend, David, it's going to be tougher than ever.
It certainly is, Bob. Car control is going to be the order of the day. It's dry at the moment, but who knows, it may well rain during this race. The top 3 positions on the grid also happen to be the top 3 positions in the championship, but not necessarily in the same order. But it's going to be a tremendous race for Geoff Willoughby. He's 4th in the championship. He's 10th on the grid. And to give you an idea of just how close these guys are, he's still only 0.6 of a second outside the pole. So Geoff Willoughby, along with all the others, is going to have a very, very interesting afternoon on this difficult 1.5-mile circuit.
No question about that. Here's the way they'll line up for today's race. On the pole, number 2 in points, Barry Waddell. Next to him, Jaki Schechter from South Africa, 3rd in the points tally. Row 2, Geoff Boss, who is number 1 in points. Frederick Larsson alongside, and look how close these times are. Row 3, Thomas Shee and Edgar Zamora. On row 4, Matthias Anderson and Chris McDougall. On row 5 will be Will Pace, and the man David just talked about, Geoff Willoughby, number 4 in points. Row 6, Alvaro Espinola and Diego Dominguez. Row 7, Chris Meninga and Mark Baker. On row 8, Andres Gomez and Giovanni Gulinelli. Row 9, Skip Streets and Tim Moser. On row 10, Jeff Bucknam, son of the former Formula 1 driver, and Leandro La Rosa. Row 11 will be Tim Getz and G.J. Menin. And on row 12, Nassim Kassim and Alan Cianciarulo. Now, most of these drivers having come up through the Skip Barber Racing Organization's various programs, including Formula Ford and the Pro Series, know Lime Rock fairly well. Here's a look at the dimensions of the racetrack.
Well, 1.54 miles with the chicane. There's 7 corners. It's predominantly right-handers. Just that one left-hander, which is turn 2, puts a lot of strain on the right side tires. And of course, it's very, very fast for its length, especially considering it's got a chicane. And turn 2 is pretty tight, and these guys are averaging about 100 miles an hour. So it's a very fast 1.5-mile track.
As you can tell from that starting grid, perhaps, a tremendous international participation in this series. Drivers from 12 countries in all, but ironically, for the first time in over a decade, no Connecticut-based drivers here at Lime Rock Park in Connecticut. The green flag waves. We are underway, and we are all over the racetrack.
Whoa, there's a big tangle there.
Bit of wheel banging going into turn 1. That's Jaki Schechter, I believe, who spun off.
Jaki Schechter's on the outside, tried to cut across in front of Barry Waddell, and they tangled going into that turn 1. It's such a big temptation to overtake into there. It's very wide. Does that damage his suspension at all?
Well, in any event, it has dropped him from 2nd back to 24th, and it is that Schechter, Jaki Schechter, son of Ian Schechter, nephew of the former Formula 1 world champion for Ferrari, Jodi Schechter. First time through the big bend on top of the hill, then under the bridge and diving down to an ultra-quick right-hander. You better have your setup right for the next corner. Flashing down onto the front straightaway, and once again, out of the slipstream they come. Waddell making a bid.
I think that's Boss trying to get around Waddell. Too many blue cards for me there, Bob. You'll have to recognize these. Through that left and right-hander. This is a very important corner. Leads onto the what they call no-name straight, which is this back section of the track. Second fastest part of the raceway. As you can see, though, it's not exactly straight into the chicane. This will really bunch him up through here, too.
Waddell and Geoff Boss. Geoff Boss has won 2 races already this year. Waddell picked up the one Boss did not win. That was at Sebring, Florida.
And in 3rd place there is Frederick Larsson. Frederick Larsson is a protege of Stefan Johansson, IndyCar driver. You can see just how tightly they are. Oh, big spin down at the... That's the fastest corner. Very lucky. He lost a lot of speed before he went across the road there and hit that.
That was Diego Dominguez, car number 27. And the way the car kept spinning, I'm wondering if he didn't have a throttle stick or something. But he got 2 wheels off the racetrack on the left side. And that is very dangerous. But he still got it underway, so I guess it wasn't the throttle.
Well, his race is done now. That car well and truly deranged. His afternoon is over. Coming out of that very fast downhill corner, the fastest corner here.
Another look. Diego Dominguez from Asuncion, Paraguay.
Oh, there you see him, got off the road.
Got all four wheels off.
Oh, and whipped back through the field and never touched a person. There's a lot of very fast beating hearts behind him right now. All thanking their lucky stars.
Well, some severe damage to that car. His day is done. That's a shame. But the race will go on. These are Dodge V6 3.5 liters, making about 240 horsepower. They are very, very quick, running on Goodyear slick tires. The drivers can set the car up to suit their individual driving style, working with things like suspension pieces, wing settings, and so on, but they cannot touch the engine or the drivetrain.
Barry Waddell now, of course, has got the perfect situation. He's got himself well and truly into the lead, and everybody behind him is fighting desperately for second spot. There's another car well and truly under the dirt, pulls back on front of that yellow car. Now he's going to block him.
That is Edgar Zamora, off and on again.
Which will, of course, be making the guy in the yellow car extremely...
Now look at Geoff Boss's line. Everybody obviously thinks he's the guy to stick around behind. Car number 8 behind him is Frederick Larsson. Oh!
And it's turned the wheel. That's Zamora again. No, in the 69 car.
That is Zamora. And someone else is off as well. Can't quite make it out yet.
And another car joins him.
Thomas Shee is the yellow car up to the right of your screen. Now someone else has come sliding off.
He's lost his right rear wheel. Zamora's lost his left front.
Nassim Kassim in car 0. Tremendous carnage here.
Now Zamora tries to go down the inside there of the number 10 car, is that?
That's Thomas Shee.
And whips his front wheel off on Shee's car. Shee, I think, is now sliding off further on around turn 1.
Indeed he was. Now we'll watch Kassim come in. He has damaged the right rear, obviously in contact with someone else.
And there's another car just out of the picture there to the right. So, wholesale departing of the field down at turn 1. I'm sure that'll bring out a full course caution, because there are cars scattered in all sorts of very vulnerable places.
There is the 4th one. 4 cars off at the first corner after contact on the second lap. We made it through the first one, but came a cropper in the second. We'll be right back.
Dodge changed the rules of truck power, the rules of safety, comfort, convenience. And while we were changing those rules, another one changed all by itself. New rule: Dodge pickups now have higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. Want proof? Check the rule book. The rules have changed. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
Golf Digest introduces 8 ways to a better golf game. It can help you experience a game that's better all around. Get the 8 ways to a better golf game video. It's guaranteed to improve your game, and it's free with your paid subscription. Order 12 issues of Golf Digest for just $19.77 now, and get the latest video free. Call 800-225-7555. That's 800-225-7555.
This ESPN Speed World presentation, the Barber Dodge Pro Series, is brought to you by Dodge. The more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. Welcome back to Lime Rock Barsha. David Hobbs with you after an incident that has taken out 4 of the cars in our field at the first corner. We are back underway once again. Barry Waddell out front, Geoff Boss to the right of the screen in the blue car with the yellow wings all over him.
A tremendous race going on at the front of the field there. Unfortunately, we did lose 4 of the cars early on, but again, Barry Waddell stamps his authority on this race. Barry Waddell from Evansville, Indiana, and he really seems to like the Barber Dodge as opposed to the Barber SAAB that he drove last year. He seems to do very, very well. Whether it's the more horsepower, the more torque, I don't know, but something about it seems to appeal to Barry Waddell. Geoff Boss right behind him in the dark blue car with the yellow wing. Behind him is Larsson.
Now the sun has come out, and that is going to change the track complexion considerably. It's going to get a lot hotter. That affects tire compounds, and it could affect the settings. Many of these drivers thinking they were going to be racing under heavy cloud.
It certainly did look as if it was going to rain at the beginning of this race. There's the 15 and 14 car there. Chris McDougall's caught up. He's up to 6th spot. Started off way down in, well, I say way down, he was in 8th.
T.S. Anderson was in the 15 car. Oh, we've got another car off at turn 1 and backing it up into the trees. But he kept it alive. Car number 44, Giovanni Gulinelli from Padova in Italy.
Oh, I thought he'd gone to hide behind that tire barrier to keep out of harm's way, but back on the track, the car looks okay. Can't see any deranged wheels. The wings look okay, so
let's take another look at this. Oh, he had help. Car number 52, Jaki Schechter, who spun off at this corner early on, remember, and went to the back of the pack. Well, if you're going to go off, don't hit anything. Keep all the corners on the car and get right back into it.
Keep the engine going, put it into gear, and rejoin the race.
Let's take a look at the battle for the lead. Still Barry Waddell out front. Still Geoff Boss right there. Car number 8, Frederick Larsson, is there as well. And we're still going side by side into 1.
Jeff Willoughby there, one of the youngest runners here. He's only 19 years old now in the number 2 car. He's trying to make up some places.
He has moved up from 10th to 2nd. That puts him in the running for the Progressive Custom Wheels Most Progressive Driver Award. That award going to the driver who advances the most positions from his spot on the starting grid. There's also the Sachs Speed Shifter Award for the fastest race lap. And all of these contingencies available despite the fact that there is a season-long purse of over $630,000 in the Barber Dodge Pro Series, including the NGK Spark Plugs Career Enhancement $100,000 bonus. That will go to the series champion. Now Barry Waddell has company to his left as car number 8, Frederick Larsson, comes alongside. Now ducks back behind.
It was Geoff Boss taking a very funny line down the straight there. I don't know whether he was trying to drop Frederick Larsson out of his slipstream, but not really much hope of doing that, I wouldn't have thought. In fact, slipping back into the clutches of Larsson.
Take a close look at the nose of Geoff Boss's car in 2nd place, and you'll see that the nose cone has been jammed up. Unfortunately, it's blocking our onboard camera.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's also affecting his aerodynamics.
It will be. Won't helping those at all. It'll be giving him an awful lot of front wing and a lot of downforce, which will be making the car, I would say, pretty oversteering.
In addition to all that money and those contingencies I talked about, the champion in the series will pick up a complete engine lease package for the Indy Light Series worth about $45,000. Not a bad championship. That explains why Stefan Johansson was in such a hurry to get a protege over here to run Barber Dodge. Barry Waddell beginning to draw away. Boy, does he ever know this racetrack. He has taught here at the Skip Barber Racing School for many years. Right now, he just draws away.
Geoff Boss's car obviously won't be behaving itself impeccably with that nose cone pushed up like that. We'll be slowing him down a little bit, probably giving him a little bit too much downforce at the front.
Downhill they go. Waddell. Then Geoff Boss. We'll take a quick timeout and be back for more. Larsson, Anderson, and McDougall, 3rd through 5th.
Which is hotter, the CD or details?
And you don't stop.
or details? The CD or details? You can decide for yourself, because the magazine is just $1 an issue, and the CD is free, if you call now. With artists like the Beastie Boys, Pulp, Erasure, 15 hits that leave you spinning. A full year of provocative stories that keep you ahead of the curve. Bulletins from the front lines of sex, style, sports, clubs, fashion, and entertainment. Outrageous celebrity interviews and the best of what's happening in music. Which is hotter? The free CD or details for just $1 an issue? Hey, life's full of tough decisions, except the one you're making now. By calling 1-800-554-9000.
I've always wanted to race cars. It's always been the thing that I was going to do. I love speed. I love being on an edge and trying to control that edge, and you get all of that in car racing.
You're like a balloon full of pressure before the race, and you have to find a valve to release the pressure. And every driver has a different way. I'm very persistent and always fight very much to catch up again and to go back. Like any other sports, the goal is to win.
Chicane and the Big Bend headed for the diving turn. Welcome back to the Barber Dodge Pro Series for 1995. This is round 4 at the home of the series, Lime Rock Park. Bob Barsha, David Hobbs with you. There is the battle for second place. Best battle on the racetrack, in part because of that line that Geoff Boss is taking. And now it looks like Frederick Larsson will take second place from Boss. He's been following him around lap after lap.
Oh, and he got wide again there, and Geoff Boss took the place back again, all going through that one long turn. Big Bend is why it's called Big Bend, because it is a big bend. So Geoff Boss there, for some reason, I think she's going to shake Larsson off by pulling over, instead of which he seems to be helping Larsson more than hindering him. Larsson got through on the inside, on the outside there into Big Bend, and then, of course, immediately re-lost it to Boss. So that gives Barry Waddell there, of course, is just looking in his mirror and chuckling at all this racing going on. There you see Geoff Boss right over to the left-hand side of the track. Larsson pulls up alongside, out of the slipstream, comes into Big Bend, goes around him, clean pass on the outside, but he's too wide, he's in the marbles, loses traction, and Geoff Boss slips back inside again.
Geoff Boss must have an extraordinary setup on that car, because the nose cone has been beaten up. And yet he is able to maintain tremendous straight line speed. Someone is into the tires.
Someone is off in the worst part of the track, and that's the very fastest corner. That's the 28 car.
That is Geoff Bucknam from Nevada, California, son of Ronnie Bucknam, who helped bring Honda into Formula One back in the 60s. Rear end completely shattered. The car worker is indicating the steering is broken.
Car surprisingly undamaged there at the front end. He must have backed into the wall, must have spun coming down there. We don't know whether he got any help spinning or whether he just did it all on, looks like he did it all on his own.
He went off before the entry to the corner, kind of took a dog leg. Here comes the big hit.
Ouch.
Boy, right onto the end of the tire wall. That could have been a lot worse.
Speaking of somebody who had a close relative in Barber, SAAB as it was, this is going to cost Mr. Bucknam some money, of course, because you have to repair your own car.
Part of the deal. Meanwhile, the pot that is, continues to boil for second place as Geoff Boss desperately tries to keep Frederick Larsson behind him.
And it's working out. What is surprising is that these two are having this incredible scrap. And obviously, when you're fighting like this, you spend a lot of the time blocking the guy behind. So you actually lap time tends to go down rather than up. And I'm amazed that the guys behind them haven't made more impression on them while they're having this tremendous battle here for second spot. The only one that really is gaining from is Barry Waddell, who's pulling away even further.
Matthias Anderson, car number 15 in white, watching all this battle back there in 4th spot.
And Chris McDougall right behind him in that red car. And then in that other white car is Spinola. Alberia Spinola going down the inside of McDougall there. Wow, wheels on the inside, holding him out back. Oh, he held him off, we think.
Great stuff. And another good battle going on behind them. With all due respect to the SAAB engines that powered this series for many years, these normally aspirated 3.5-liter Dodges have really revitalized it. We used to say the only thing that the series lacked was a nice, sexy exhaust note. And these normally aspirated engines, without the muffling effect of the turbochargers, really...
Well, I think they have a lower center of gravity. They have more torque. I mean, the car's more of a race car, too. So it's, I think the drivers enjoy them more. And Barry Waddell, in particular, seems to enjoy these cars.
Battle continues between Chris McDougall and Alvaro Spinola, a Canadian against a Brazilian. It's again tremendous international diversity in this series. 12 different countries represented in the 24 cars in the field. That battle for second has cooled slightly. We'll take a quick timeout and return for more of the Barber Dodge Pro Series from Lime Rock. Stay with us.
Would you go fishing with a lawnmower? Then why trim your lawn with fishing line? Forget it. Here comes the Weed Terminator. 3 awesome cutting blades that swing out and are held in position by centrifugal force. Weeds are defenseless against them, and trimming has never been easier. The entire unit installs quickly and easily to whiz through even the thickest grass and weeds. Turn your gas-powered trimmer into a powerful Weed Terminator. Broken trimmer line? Terminated. Wasted time? Terminated. Expensive replacement spools? Terminated. The Weed Terminator fits all these popular gas trimmers, and it's yours now for only $19.95 with an extra set of blades free. Don't miss this opportunity. Call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-554-9000 or send $19.95 plus shipping and handling to Weed Terminator, P.O. Box 213, Plainville, Connecticut, or call 1-800-554-9000.
7 strikeouts so far tonight, looking for number 8. And he gets it.
You see this kid, Nova? Do you know that the people in Japan get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch this guy pitch for the Dodgers?
Yeah, I know.
And you'd think, with all the high-tech stuff that they make, they'd just tape these games.
Are you kidding me? I don't even think those guys can figure out how to program a VCR.
I got mine a year and a half, and I still don't know what I'm doing.
Is yours blinking?
Blink, blink, blink.
I got a headache. I can't watch that.
Back at Lime Rock Park, Barry Waddell continues to draw away from Geoff Boss, taking that interesting line in the blue and yellow number 16 car. Frederick Larsson just behind Boss, but now Boss is developing a little bit of breathing space. Car number 52 is off heavily. That's Jaki Schechter, second quickest qualifier for this race. He's off at one of the fastest part of the racetracks. Spun off early, went from second to last in the field. Now his race is run.
Now that is a very bad thing for Jaki Schechter. He had a terrible start, spun off early on. Here we see it. Oh, he's caught up with something there. He's got something jammed. He must have clipped his wing at an earlier, taken his wing off at an earlier corner, lost all his downforce, comes into Westfield, which is a very fast 4th gear, flat out right-hander, no downforce, and the thing just steered straight off the road, which of course will not help Jaki Schechter's points position at all.
He was third in points coming in, and along with Barry Waddell, the only man in the first 3 rounds of the series to visit the podium in each of the previous 3 races. He will not do so today. It appears right now that Barry Waddell is well on his way to the top step of that podium. You see the gap. He is now open over the blue and yellow machine of Geoff Boss. As I mentioned, the lead instructor for the Skip Barber Racing School. He has driven in sedan competition in IMSA.
Geoff Boss and Larsson, the real heat seems to have gone out of that battle. Larsson seems to have settled for 3rd or has in some way there not being able to come to grips now with Geoff Boss.
Cross Penn's onboard camera, you get a look at Geoff Boss. Another day at the office here in the Barber Dodge Pro Series. Notice the movement of his eyes, watching the mirrors, looking around the racetrack. That's what they teach you in racing school. Keep your eyes moving. Be aware of everything going on around you.
Going through the left-hander, the only left-hander here now, flicking for the right-hand turn 3. Onto No Name Straight. There you see him going down that back section of the track. Barry Waddell pulled out a substantial lead now.
Waddell, Boss, and Larsson.
Tyus Anderson there in the white car behind them. And Behind him is Albury Spinola, I think, now.
Jeff Bucknam's machine still lies down there at the final corner in the runoff. Slower traffic up ahead, but the white flag waves for Barry Waddell. Larsson, if he is going to make a move for second place on Geoff Boss, he's going to have to do it quickly.
He's going to make a move on Geoff Boss. I think he's left it too late. I think he had it so close before, didn't he, on that turn one pass. Did a great effort there, but just went in a little bit hot. Got on the outside on the marbles, had to lose ground. Geoff Boss took the position back, and he's really never been in a hugely strong, challenging position since. Now he's going to get left out of the chicane as well, so that finishes his day there as they pass Alan Sia and Cerullo. Going through the chicane, that opens up a gap that he's no hope of covering in the last few hundred yards, really.
I keep talking about that big turn up there as a Big Bend, which in fact it is, but there is already a corner named Big Bend, and it's the end of this straightaway. The checkered flag waves over Barry Waddell, who salutes the pit lane and all of the Barber Dodge mechanics who have helped put the anything for a buck Barber Dodge into first place. Barry Waddell picks up the victory, his second of 1995, and we'll be back to meet him when we return to Lime Rock.
A lot of champagne glasses have been used to prove how smooth the car can be at high speed. Surely, a toast is in order for a truck that can do the same. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed. At America's truck stop, the new Dodge.
Pick up the phone for the latest sports news from ESPN all day, every day.
95 cents per minute. Call 1-900-976-ESPN.
The Extreme Games on ESPN and ESPN2, coming June 24th.
This ESPN Speed World presentation of the Barber Dodge Pro Series has been brought to you by Dodge. The more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. After an exciting Barber Dodge Pro Series race here at Lime Rock, Barry Waddell emerges with his second victory of the year. He's down in victory lane with Marty Reed.
Well, the helmet comes off, and anything for a buck. Well, you've got about, what, 10,000 of them now? Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It was a good day. The yellow caught me thinking. I saw Jeff had his nose askew, and I thought if I could hold it, if he didn't get me on the restart, all I had to do was do perfect laps, and it was tough. It was good. It was a good day.
Hey, you looked really smooth out there, man. You lengthened it as the race went on.
Well, the track conditions were changing just a little bit. And I just tried to stay focused on the track and on the car. And if I could stay focused and just drive the track and make that the challenge to go faster every lap, I thought it'd be okay, and it worked out great.
Anything for a buck? Well, all you got to do is win, and you get 10,000 of them. Barry Waddell, your winner.
All right, thank you, Marty. Here's a look at the full field rundown. Waddell, his second winner of the win of the year over Geoff Boss, Frederick Larsson, Matthias Anderson, and Albury Spinola. As you take a look down through the rest of the runners, atop the points now, Barry Waddell and Geoff Boss are now tied for the lead with 69 points apiece, but there is a long way to go before the season finale in New Orleans. David Hobbs, your final thoughts.
Well, Jaki Scheckter didn't have a good day, did he? Spun off early, then he had that big crash at the end there, knocking him out of the points run. But it was a typical Barber Dodge race, you know, very, very close all the way around, but Barry Waddell certainly put it on him today.
Well, Jaki Scheckter may have dodged a bullet here. He remains in third place in points, but he's watching the leaders pull away. I'm Bob Barsha for David Hobbs and Marty Reed. Thanks for being with us. So long from Lime Rock Park in Connecticut.